Good morning and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with Duncan and Rich, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Duncan's ability to understand and respond to some of his formal on-leash obedience commands. The correction and the motivation that we give the dogs when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Rich is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give any correction that's needed, and the only correction that we give here at school is a tug and release on the training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Duncan's going to come home with his very own training equipment. We'll discuss how to use that properly during your follow-up training session today. Now, Duncan is sitting very nicely at Rich's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done, and the first exercise that they're going to demonstrate for us is heeling. Heeling is proper leash walking, and the command is Duncan, heel.
Duncan, heel.
Now this may look like an easy command, but this in itself took us days to teach Duncan. Duncan wanted to put his nose on the ground. He did not want to walk nicely on a leash. He wanted to do his own thing, and just this took days of work to accomplish, to get him to walk nicely with Rich on the leash, not dragging him, not dropping his head, but staying right with you so that you can go on walks with your dog and not be dragged down the street, and that he's more focused on you than what's going on around him. When Rich stops his feet, Duncan has been taught to sit automatically without being told, to wait for his next command. And the next command that Rich is going to demonstrate is the sit-stay.
Stay.
Stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command. Everything that we're teaching Duncan has to do with self-control and focus. So you're going to want to lengthen out the amount of time that he can hold these sit-stays, and you're going to practice indoors as well as outdoors. When Rich returns back to him, he quickly returns counterclockwise all the way back to Duncan's shoulders where they started, and at this point the dog expects to get another command.
Duncan, heel.
And Rich has him heel again. Now if he goes to drop his head, you're going to see Rich say no, heel, and give that little correction on the leash to keep him focused. And you can see that he's happy and he's doing it willingly now. But he's not an easy dog. Rich leaves him in another sit-stay. He makes him hold it. And this time, instead of returning back to him, Rich will demonstrate the come on command. He doesn't get overexcited with his voice. He reels him in on that leash and has him sit when he comes in so that he's not jumping all over everyone. Because he's a large, intimidating dog to be jumping on people and to be so out of control. So what we're trying to teach him is that you can have a good time, but you need to stay under control. And between leaves and acorns and squirrels, we have our own distractions going on here. Rich leaves him in another sit-stay. And again, he will use the recall command. If he doesn't come, Rich gives him that little tug, brings him in, and has him sit. And when he gets distracted, you can't give up. You have to get him to come back and sit. Then you can see he knows it, but then all of a sudden he just dazes off and does his own thing. And at that point, you can't give up. Now the next command that we're going to be demonstrating for you is your down command. You always have the dog seated before you attempt to put him into a down. You're going to use your left open palm straight down toward the ground and the one-word command to down and stay. Now your long down stay is best practiced indoors, right in your house. And we'll talk about all this when you come today to get him. When Rich returns back to him on the down stay, he walks all the way around him again, returning all the way back to heel. And he heels him out of that. And Dunkin is one of those dogs that you're gonna have to practice with. A lot of people don't have to practice so much. I think with Dunkin that you're gonna have to practice. Use your video as an instruction and practice with him because you're gonna have to. Down. All the way. Stay. And you can see that even though sometimes during the course of the video we're doing things that he doesn't particularly want to do or like to do, he's not nipping or being fresh, which he was in the beginning. He is sometimes not willingly doing it, but he's not using his mouth or he's not being aggressive in any manner. Now we have demonstrated for you all of Dunkin's formal on-leash obedience commands. He has come a long way. He still has a ways to go. We're going to be here for you, to work with you at home, to practice, to keep him moving in the right direction. We're never going to abandon you or say it's too much or too long, because we know that he does need the work at home as well, and we're here for you. So keep us posted on your progress, and thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.